Hi there. I just would like to. My name is Maria Esposito. I'm a nutritional therapist and a craniosacral therapist. I work with in pregnancy, babies, children, and adults. And if you don't know about craniosacral therapy, it's a very gentle but powerful treatment, and it kind of resets the body. For adults, it takes a little bit longer if there is a blockages or the system doesn't go really nice like this. It can get the nervous system. It's quite active. You hear a lot of the vagal nerve. Well, we work with that a lot. With pregnancy, we kind of help, not help, but we work with the connection between the baby and the mothers. If you are in need of getting pregnant, any blockages that can be solved might help with that. And then when you are pregnant, the connection with you and the baby as well. If you are struggling to get pregnant and you are on fertility clinic and everything, it's actually quite good to have some craniosacral therapy to relax your body while you're going through all those hormonal changes or extra, very much more extra hormones that you usually would get. But today, in particular, I would like to discuss the baby crying. Okay, baby crying is normal. That's how they communicate. So they can cry. Some baby cries more than others, and it's okay. Each baby is different. There are reasons for babies to cry. That's, as I said, that is their communication. You know, if they're hungry, if they're in pain or uncomfortable, if sometimes they cry because they have colic. I have some videos on colic, and or lactose overload, or they don't latch well, or they have tongue tie and haven't resolved it yet, or lip tie, things like that. So I have covered that in the colics video. They might cry for a little bit of reflux. They might cry because the nervous system is hyper all the time, and it might be from when it was you were pregnant or later for any possible small or big trauma. You know, I have seen trauma into a very fast birth, natural birth. So and sometimes it's just, you know, the birth, going through the birth. Obviously it is normal, whatever, but there is some a lot of squashing and a lot of heating there with the contractions. So it's a lot to take. So they need a little bit of, as well as the mother. And the mother, I do suggest always for the mother to have a treatment as well, because then they went through the labor and they need their system to relax and let go. And so it's worth to have that. But they're crying when they don't want to sleep and everything. It can be a little bit of compression still left from birth for some reason or another, even in natural birth, as I mentioned, or a little bit of they cry because of the reflux, they cry because they're too excited. So with the craniosacral therapy, we just kind of settle the baby into the new world. You know, they come out into this world after they've been amazingly in there. And they cry, you know, they can cry, as I said, it depends also on the parents if they calm down, but also it's a catch-22 because it's a big responsibility. They're really small, they're very delicate. They don't know the day of light or daylight or night. So they will feed what they want to feed to start with, and then they get used to this is a quiet time, or this is you know, but they don't know. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they cry at night. So it's an adjustment for mothers and babies. If you have already another baby or toddler, then it's a little bit harder, much harder, because especially if the toddler is very young, because they want attention as well as the young one. So it's a lot to juggle. So do ask. My suggestion is, you know, get with other babies and mothers and toddlers, you know, just to talk about it as well, to have some support in some way. If you don't have any family around you, there are people out there that, you know, if you do connect to each other in some way, you do help each other. And baby cries, sometimes they don't want to go to sleep. They want to be with you all the time, which is okay. We are the only animal kingdom family that we are told to put our baby down and leave him by himself. None of the other animal that I see, I live in a reservoir nearby, and I don't see them leaving the young ones by themselves. So we are the only ones that were told that. And mainly in the modern world, actually, in the Western probably world, anywhere else, keeps their baby with them for a long time, on them all the time. So if they do cry, I hope they don't teach, or there are no books out there, the new books that says still just leave the baby to cry when they want to go to sleep. If they cry, just let them cry. No, my suggestion, it's just make them feel safe for a long time, and then later on in life, you and the child will have a better life. They will feel supported. They will feel that no matter what, they're okay. So they are supported. You know, they have somebody there. And as a parent, I get that, you know, and no matter what you've done so far, it's okay. It's the baby, as much as you connect a third of the time with them, you don't constantly have to connect. You have to make them feel supported, and obviously ask for support for you, you know, as a mother, as parents, you do need that support. So that's it. So crying is a normal thing. Crying is a communication. It will expand the lungs, but crying excessively for no reason and don't need to also is not necessary. You will know as a parent, as a mother, the different crying. And when there is an unusual crying that done well, then you will know also that something is not quite right. So learn to know your baby cry. And if they don't cry, it's okay, you know, but also watch that they're not too sleepy and they're not too communicative and they're not too awake. So even that is not a great thing either. So just the right time, you know, and then I said, each child, each baby is different. So make sure that is okay. If they do cry because of colic, after 2 weeks, the colic will start because the intestinal tract will start closing down. You might have more lactose than they can, if you're breastfeeding or you're bottle feeding, that they can manage. And therefore, they will be just a little bit more belly bloating. They're uncomfortable. They need to do some wind or burp. So that the belly doesn't feel like a balloon and is uncomfortable. Or if they have, they can have constipation actually, or they can have exploding poos. That's when you know that there is a lactose overload and it needs to be sorted out, or they get too much hair in through possible tongue tie. So Yeah. And with craniosacral therapy and as a nutritionist, I will help settle the baby system. There are some tips that I can give as well. Um, and possibly for reflux as well, if they had a little bit of trauma or they had a long labor. That's birth, sorry, and you had a long labor, that can also have affected them. So with craniosacral therapy, I would suggest at least 3 sessions, 2 to 3 sessions to settle that system. And once it's settled, then quite few mothers said they are different babies, so it's worth it. So for some, if they had a little bit more traumatic or there is a little bit something else more, it will take a little bit longer than 3 sessions, but usually it's 3 sessions. I work in North London. I work either from N15 or Lifeburn Market at Crouch End. Otherwise, enjoy your baby. There are beautiful miracles that you have done as a mother and you, the father as well, because you need both, and enjoy them. They're wonderful things. So not things, but wonderful babies, a human, and they are amazing Buddhas when you work with them.